a branch that has wasps.
Oh, God.
His whole head and neck gets surrounded by wasps. He gets 30 stings on him. He runs. And so right away, we're like, oh, God, here we go. We had to use a stick to get his hat out from under where the wasps were attacking. We hike all day, and here's the thing. You think it's the rainforest. There's going to be water everywhere. There's no water. So picture being in the sauna for 8 hours straight, and then no re-up on water. We drank all of our water thinking we were going to find a stream. We didn't find a stream. We camped that night, like dry camp, nothing. Fell asleep, woke up. We were like, we got to find water. And at this point, Lex is...
How do you find water?
Well, I mean, there should just be streams, right? This section...
Were there that you just didn't run into? Or it's like...
It was a weird section of forest. And this is integral to the whole story, was that this part of the forest, unlike where we are, which is very, very flat, and there's all these like little streams, they're clear. This caiman and anaconda in them, but they're clear. And the jungle works, like the roots work like a huge filtering system. So you can drink that water right out of the streams. Where we were, it was up and down and up and down and up and down. And so that's why we're sweating all day. We camped. We didn't have water. We start going the next day. No water. And Lex starts looking at me and he's like, dude, we can't keep doing this. We're slipping and sliding down slopes. We're hiking up slopes and just grabbing onto things. And when you grab onto trees in the Amazon, they have spikes on them. You're worried about stepping on venomous snakes. You're worried about twisting an ankle. It was brutal travel, like level 10 hiking. And JJ made eye contact with me behind him, and he was just going, "This is not good." And so I think it was day 3. We're going, and we're in
Did you go a whole day without water at all?
We went with a whole day with no water whatsoever.
And what's the temperature?
99 degrees,
Ugh.
full humidity.
Oh my God! So
And
you're like full dehydration.
Yeah,
Probably a little delirious.
completely delirious. And so
Body's not working well.
and you start making errors, right? You
Right.
start taking bad steps because you're tired. So you go, I'll just step on this thing. And so you step on a root that goes down, you slide, poof, you hit the ground, you get tangled up in vines. We had pack rafts. There's this company, Alpaca Rafts. We had paddles sticking out of our backpacks that kept getting stuck on vines. And what happened though was, as we're going through this forest, we're going, God, this is so incredibly dense. And I see this tree, this huge tree, the size of this room. And I go, JJ, what tree is that? And he smiles at me, teacher to student. And he goes, you know why you don't know what that is? He goes, you've never seen a mature mahogany tree. Because the loggers down there, they took them all out. This forest has never been cut. Millions of years, the Amazon rainforest forming geologically has never been cut. And so we're going through this forest. We see jaguar tracks, ancient mahogany trees. We're seeing ironwood trees. No one's been there. There's not even signs of uncontacted tribes. This is forest that no one's been through. And so right at the time, I remember we stopped for lunch. We stopped to eat the last food we have. And the problem that we were doing was, I had a compass, and we were getting to the top of these hills. And you know when you look on the ocean floor and the sand makes like those geometric ripples, and there's a pattern to it. And so we were coming to the top of a ridgeline, and we were like, we don't want to go down again, and we don't want to hike up again. So we were staying on the ridgelines, and what that was doing was taking us a 30-degree tick to I think it was to the west. But what that was doing, though, was taking us about another 20 miles off course. So we had to hit the river here, but we were going to hit over there.
Oh, no.
So we had to correct for course. We stopped. We were eating the last of the food we have. We drank water out of a puddle. I have a video, and we're going to release all this.
Do you have a filtration system?
We went with nothing. We had our tents and our machetes.
Jesus Christ!
And I have a video of Lex, and he's looking at this puddle.
Why don't you bring a SteriPen or something?
Because I do everything with the local guys, and they were just like, "Oh, it'll be fine. There'll be water." And we didn't anticipate this happening. And Lex was crouched by this puddle with his backpack on, and he's like looking at the water, and he looks at me and he goes, "I'm going to drink it." And I said, "Do not drink that." I was like, "Please don't fucking drink that." And he goes, "I'm going to drink it." He goes, "I don't care about anything else on earth right now except for water." And I was like, "Please don't drink it."
Jardy is no joke.
Nope. We stopped for lunch.
Did he drink it?
He did not drink it.
Wow.
No. We didn't want, because now we're going, if we get sick, we have no sat phone, no communication to the outside world. We're at least 30 miles from the nearest river, let alone help.
Right.
That's 100 miles away. Deep in the Amazon, and the feeling of deep jungle, that feeling of wilderness. I know, like, when you're like elk hunting, I'm sure you know this, when you're out there and you get that feeling like this is out there.
Yeah.
And
uncaring.
Yeah, you start like the ocean where it's like, it doesn't matter.
It's almost like lonely.
It's very lonely.
Even when you're with people.
It starts to press on you. We started getting quiet. Like we weren't having like an awesome time. We were we were feeling it. And so we ate like some nuts and we had nothing to wash it down with. So we're just chewing on it. And we got up and then we took a few steps and all of a sudden everything changed. We came out onto a road and it's a logging road. And JJ's face fell. I was heartbroken. Lex looked confused. What we realized was in this ancient patch of forest, the progression of the metastasizing destruction that's moving through the Amazon forest comes in roads. This road, somebody had just cut a road, and they hadn't cut the ancient mahogany trees, and they hadn't cut the ironwood trees, and the wildlife was untouched, but there's a road. So they're coming. We used the road, we hiked out, we reached water. And this is amazing when we reached water because we just plunged into this river. We were drinking. We did have some iodine tablets. We put that in our water bottles. We drank as much as we wanted to. And then we had to raft for an entire day back to the place where we got picked up. But what happened was that now we know, and this is on our river. This is where we're trying to create this corridor with jungle keepers. Now we know that some of the most ancient forest on Earth is about to be destroyed. And we get back to our base, to our research station, and it just so happens that there was a client there, and he was staying in that treehouse, the Alta Sanctuary treehouse. And we tell him this whole story, and we're drinking, and we're eating, and we're all sunburnt and bug bitten and dehydrated, and our cheeks are stuck to our skulls. And we tell him this whole story, and we go, "It's going to be brutal watching this, dismantled." And he goes, "Well, I want to help." He goes, "Find out how we get that land." And it hadn't really occurred to me that we could do anything about it. And this guy's name is Jay, and he said, he goes, I'll start you off. He goes, whatever the land costs, I'll give you 150 grand, do a fundraiser, put it public, and try and get matching donations and talk to the loggers. So while we set up the fundraiser, JJ, local, called up his friends who happen to own that land. His friends don't want the land. They're contracting it to loggers to get the trees out to make some money so they could just sell it off. We put it up on Instagram. We raised $150,000 in 48 hours, talked to the loggers, bought the land, and then the craziest part is that when we went there, we physically, with all the directors of jungle keepers, we went to the land, and the Peruvian directors sat down with the loggers, and they were like, look, we own this land now. It's for conservation. We're going to save this forest. And the loggers went, that's fine, but can we still work here? And we went, what? And they said, we do this because we love it. And we went, what? They said, yeah, can we just be rangers? Like, we see you have rangers. Can we be rangers? And we were like, yeah, you can be rangers. Yeah, you could be rangers. These dudes are over here destroying the thing they love because they have no other opportunity.
Right.
So the fact that this is, that we now have this global network of people that care. The local people in the Amazon rainforest are trying to protect the Amazon.